Vols are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now. I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Yes, Red Reddit did to do. Red Reddit did to do. Welcome into More Important Issues. It is Florida week. This is why you come to Tennessee, baby. Let's get fired up. Let's go, baby. Oh my gosh, I'm glad you saw it.
I'm gonna take that off because I can't see.
Let's go. I can't either, mainly because I don't have my glasses on. I was gonna have to go full goggle dog. This is why you come to Tennessee, baby. Like Phil Fulmer said after the Vols beat Florida in 2001. Man, it's great to be a Tennessee Volunteer. The Vols are back. I feel so good I feel weird about this week. We'll get into that. But it's Florida Hate Week. It's Florida Week. We talked about it, man. This is college football. College game days on campus. SEC on CBS. The tailgates are fired up. Make sure you stop by Lot C18. Come say hey. Come eat some food. Shout out to everyone cooking this week. Shout out to Austin White for sponsoring. This is going to be a great week. 7:30, the Vols are going to be 4-0, and there is no doubt about it. Do not let battered Vol syndrome. It's kind of like the fight in Tony Vitello's. Nothing the Tennessee football team has done in the past is going to make me doubt this team or doubt that baseball team. This is different.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And I love how Josh Heupel in this program is kind of treating it that way. They're treating it just like another game. You know, they're not wearing some alternate uniforms. You know, the fans might be doing checker kneeling, and the atmosphere is going to be what it's going to be, but they're treating it like another, you know, it's just a SEC play.
Yeah, and they are.
In reality, it's the biggest game of the year. It's Florida. But Josh Heupel's got to treat it 1-16, 1-40. Who gives a shit? Be 1-0 at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think, too, what's cool, and he's kind of mentioned it, they are treating it like any other game, but they also recognize that this is a rivalry, that it is Tennessee versus Florida. It has historical significance, but it also – and you want this game to matter a little bit more because it used to be you could almost guarantee, you know, in the 90s and early 2000s, whoever won this ball game was playing in Atlanta. And so you want this game to mean a little bit more. And I'm glad he hasn't shied away from that. He talked about what we talked about on Sunday. I'm not saying he listens, but shout out Josh Heupel.
He does.
Yeah, he's a great listener. I love it.
He's got a sticker on his cooler. I know.
How they've earned all the hype around this game. They have, like, what they've done up the 3 games before this, how they've done it, they've earned the college game day. They've earned the distractions that have come with it. Now they have to put that out of, you know, because just because you've earned that doesn't mean you've earned a win. And that's all that really matters. But it's almost like he's welcomed the hype, if you will. He's almost welcomed the importance of this game and the importance of this rivalry. And it is on Tennessee right now. Right now, I mean, part of the reason this game hasn't been as much is, I would say, mostly because of Tennessee. I mean, 2 years ago, Florida did play in Atlanta. Not that Tennessee could have done it if they had won, but they did. You know, Florida did. So Florida has done – I hate Florida, but they've done their part on their side. It's time for Tennessee to step up. It's time for Josh Heupel and the boys to step up. Make this game mean more.
Is this a game where, you know, the people may be slightly doubting Josh Heupel a little bit because of that battered Vol syndrome? Is this where they finally like, all right, I think he might be the guy?
Yeah, I think it's – listen, Ben McKee mentioned it. We're in game 16-17 of the Josh Heupel era. There is little football behind him to kind of go off of, and a lot of football left ahead of him as a head coach. I think the only thing you can really judge this team on right now is the history of Tennessee, not the history of Josh Heupel. And I think that's also why this game is so crucial. I think Tennessee has the better roster. I think Tennessee has the better quarterback. I think Tennessee has the better. I think Tennessee can be better in the trenches. I think that's kind of a nuanced debate. I think it's going to be a classic SEC battle, but I think Tennessee has that ability, and so I think most of people going against Tennessee right now, part of the battered ball syndrome, or outside looking in, going, look at the history. You can't win this game. I think that's it.
Yeah, I got asked that question at work today. It's like, all right, how do you feel about it? Orange goggles off. You're not taking anything else into account except so far this season. What are you picking? I'm like, just that? Tennessee wins this by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, isn't that scary? And I actually texted, shout out Adam Massey, I think on Tuesday, and I said, this is really weird. Normally it's opposite. Normally the Tennessee fan in me is going, oh, this is a game Tennessee can win. This is a game that Tennessee takes care of business. They're good. And the realistic outside looking in non-orange goggles is going, this is a tight ball game. It's opposite. Right now I'm like, I know how this series goes. I've watched now 27 of these games, 26 of these games, and I know how this goes. Outside looking in, like you just said, this is Tennessee's ball game, man. They're 10-point favorites. They have, the biggest factor in football right now is the quarterback. And Tennessee is head and shoulders above where Florida's at. There.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of that has to do with quarterback. I think a lot of it has to do with Florida's replacing their coach, but they didn't just get a huge overhaul. They kept their quarterback. They have Brenton Cox. They have, some DBs, Trey Dean and Rashad Torrance that are good players. Jason Marshall is a preseason All-American. They got 2 All-SEC defenders, Brunell and I think Miller, who probably won't play in this game. But they have a pretty decent roster, and they get the transfer from Louisiana. That was a freshman All-American. They have Trevor Etienne, but they don't have any receivers. I'm sorry. Their longest reception so far this year is 33 yards. Jalen Hyatt had that in the first half last week. So I think Tennessee's going to hit on the big plays. And also, this is Hendon Hooker's game. He's not relying on Cedric Tillman. I doubt Cedric Tillman plays. I know Josh Heupel said we'll see in the coming days, but I just think with an ankle that it's just something to re-aggravate. You got the bye week next week. I just think that's the perfect time to rest him, get him ready for LSU.
Well, and I think that just talking on the Cedric Tillman thing, obviously it depends on the extent of the injury. What is it? I think if it is, I think if this is a game you were going to play a little bit through, and again, depends a lot on the injury. If you were going to play through an injury with a bye week coming up, this would be the ideal time to play through something. Now, if it's something where you're going, hey, he's 50%, another hit to it, we're talking out for weeks, then yeah, like I said, totally different story. Depends on the injury. I think with a bye week coming up, that's ideal for playing a guy that is a little banged up. Because like I said, this is an important game. We talked about after the Pitt game, can the Vols get to 9-3? This is another one that if you want to get to that number, you better win this ball game right here. So it isn't, and I think Tennessee has other weapons. I don't think it's just Cedric Tillman, but that is a big hit to production. That is a big hit to your offense. That's also the guy that Hendon Hooker looks to when all else fails. Like that's his outlet. That's who he knows can catch the ball. Just throw it up and let him get it. Not that I think Brew McCoy could be that. I feel like we've talked about Ramel Keaton. He's had moments like that in his career. Not many at all, but I feel like that's who we pointed to when Josh Palmer left. Who's going to be a guy who goes up and gets it. So I think you do still have playmakers like that on offense. I'm not worried if Cedric Tillman's out. You don't want to lose that production. You don't.
Yeah, and they're going to take what the defense gives them, and it looks like if you're looking at Florida's last 3 games, what the defense gives them is running lanes.
Yeah.
They're averaging, I think, 190, giving up 195 yards on the ground. I think USF was right around 300 yards. They had a quarterback go over 100 in Bohannon. So I think this is a huge game for Hendon Hooker. He can get it done on the ground. I think Cam Rising at Utah ran for 91, 92 yards, I think, against them. So Hendon Hooker, they're going to dial up some quarterback runs, especially with the banged up running backs. But I think that's perfectly fine. You haven't had to run him a ton. And I think there's a reason to that. There's a method to Josh Heupel's madness. The reason why you haven't seen a lot of Hendon Hooker running the football is because this is the game to do it.
Yeah, I think it's definitely been a conservative effort, and maybe he ran a little bit harder in Akron than you'd like to see, but that's kind of still in him. And I think running backs, all big question right now. You had Dylan Sampson go out of game. Didn't look as bad as Jabari Smalls, I guess, but both of them did. Those were confirmed to practice this week. So it looks like they'll play. You did have Princeton Fant line up at running back in practice just to get an extra body in there, which I think you called that when Lynn J. Dixon left campus, that maybe that move could happen. So you were just a couple weeks late, but you still nailed it. I mean, you got it though. Yeah. So that's an interesting one for sure. Just getting bodies back there, but you also add in Hendon Hooker, so that's a big, like you said, not been used much in previous weeks. He wasn't your leading rusher in the Pitt game, but he was kind of your driver. When you needed yards, he kind of went and got them for you. So I think kind of look for more of that. I don't know if Hendon Hooker gets to 90 yards or quite there, but I think you're going to look back on a lot of his rushing plays and talk about big moments because that's when they like to use him and give him those opportunities. Now, he, like you mentioned, the running lanes and what Florida's defense gives you, he very well could. I think more so though you're going to be looking at the big moments. That's where Hendon Hooker is going to shine, in my opinion.
They just struggle up front. Florida does defensively. Right. Only 3 sacks on the year, so I don't. I know it's on that offensive line to protect Hendon Hooker, but I just don't think they're really able to get there. And if they're given that much on rushing as well, I just think they're not good defensively. Right. Especially in that front seven. So I look for Tennessee to dominate there, get that running game going. If Tennessee runs the football, they win this game by 2 touchdowns because Josh Heupel's going to dial it up. Somebody's getting open. Walker Merrill has 2 butt naked touchdowns so far this season. So I'm perfectly confident no matter who's out there, he's going to find somebody open. And Hendon Hooker and whoever it may be is going to walk out of there with fat dubs all around, just eating them. Jameis Winston style.
Yeah, and Wesley, actually, you mentioned kind of getting guys open. Wesley asked what this wide receiver rotation looks like without said. I think he asked if Keaton's kind of just a plug-and-play guy, and you just go with that, and you see more of a 3. I don't know. I think that's a good question. I think I would be a little surprised if you just see Ramel Keaton in the Cedric Tillman role. I think it will be – I think you may see some guys that are starters play in different positions. I think you may see Jalen flash out to the outside for a player here or there. But I do think you'll see after Akron and that trust factor. I think you'll see Squirrel White more, especially in I think you'll see him in the return game. But I think you'll see him out at receiver too. And you mentioned Walker Merrill. I think that's another guy that you could see some offensive snaps from. In what capacity? Good question. I don't think it'll be a primarily Ramel Keaton role just because like I said, you're replacing a ton of production. Mm-hmm. And asking one guy to pick that up would be a lot. So I think you do see more of a rotation there.
Yeah, I think so too. Definitely that first guy that's going to be out there is Ramel Keaton. Mm-hmm. Just because, you look back at Pitt, you had 4 wide receivers play. You had Brew, Said, Jalen Hyatt, and who was that other one? Ramel Keaton. Yeah. So there's definitely that trust factor there. So I definitely think he's going to play a ton. I think they'll probably move Brew over into Said's spot and then have Ramel Keaton on that opposite side. But I think you could see Walker Merrill. I think you can see Squirrel White. He had that Akron. That was his time to shine. We've always talked about those freshmen getting those opportunities and making the most of it. He made the most of it, in my opinion. So I like what you said. Him in the return game. Definitely got to be there. Right. You want somebody dynamic. No offense, Trayvon Flowers, but when the defense is gassed from our offense anyway. And then you put a guy that's playing that many snaps back there, he's just not going to be explosive.
Yeah, and I can't remember if it was Locked On or VolQuest, but Eric Kane mentioned if he'd quit spreading himself out so much, I'd know which show to. I guess I plugged both, so good for him. He mentioned that he could see it kind of situationally in more of like a punt protect, probably Trayvon out there looking for return, Squirrel. So I kind of think along, I don't know if it's that specific, but I do think split duties. I don't see Squirrel just getting all of them after Akron.
No, I agree with that.
But I do see him out getting chances.
But he didn't do anything that would be like, oh yeah, he can't handle the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
he looked perfectly. He didn't bobble any. He looked perfectly comfortable fielding punts back there.
100%. Vol fan mentioned Jalen outside, Squirrel in the slot. I definitely could. Like I said, I think Jalen gets moved to the outside at least a couple plays in this game, just based on your needs. I could see that. What's up, AK? Hey, I hope everybody's doing good tonight. I'm like jittery. I'm so excited getting into the show.
A little nervous, but yeah, I'm excited too.
We should have done it Friday night because I'm like,
it's 400.
Hey, it's part 1.
Four's up. Fourth quarter, baby.
Everybody, put your fours in the chat. Fours in the chat.
Where they at?
And yeah, so I think you do see a lot of Squirrel in this game, both at receiver and returner. More than pass, especially more than you did against Pitt, which is that's what's kind of interesting about Tennessee, and I've heard that talk a lot about how to kind of judge this game, is that Tennessee's played Akron and Ball State, two kind of bottom feeders of the MAC, which isn't great. And I mean, yes, I don't disagree with that, but I think people are taking away too much from Pitt, and I think people are giving too much stock to Utah, giving too much stock to USF. I saw the next few coaches to be fired was I'm forgetting his name now, but something Scott, is that it? UCF or USF, excuse me. They're talking about firing him after taking Florida to the wire and only losing because of their mistakes, which is I don't know much about USF, but yeah, I mean I think you're giving too much credit to USF just because they played Florida tight, and Utah they've already lost their playoff spot. So I just don't.
Sorry, Desmond.
Right. So I don't disagree with the point of it's hard to judge these teams because of previous opponents, but I think people are giving too much credit to Florida's side of it. People are already saying this is Anthony Richards' coming out game. Could he have a better game this week? Sure, I'll give him that. Usually, when
was
you
that
get back,
not the Utah game? I mean, people
Correct.
were putting him in the Heisman race.
Correct. When you get backed into a corner, it's put up or shut up kind of deal for sure. There, listen, I'll be the first to say, and it's because of history, and it has nothing to do with Anthony Richardson. I think this is probably his best game. The problem is with that, I don't think Anthony Richardson's best game is enough to beat this Tennessee football team.
I agree with that. 0 passing touchdowns. I think that only carries over to this game, and that should be, Willie Martinez's goal for this whole week is, hey, we're not giving up another passing touchdown. We want him embarrassed to go 4 games without throwing a passing touchdown when he was in the Heisman race after week 1.
And you've got a defensive line that's playing such good football too. He's not going to have time. There's rumors about him being injured. That's why they're not running him as much.
33 yards. That's the longest reception so far this season. 33 yards.
Right.
He can't throw.
No, he can't. He can do backflips though. Cool. And then their backup quarterback, 4-star, can't remember his name. He's out for the game.
Jack Miller.
Yeah, and it's just not. Things aren't looking good for Florida, especially offensively. Their defense is going to be. I think this is going to be. We talked about how Tennessee should, when you look at, they're 10.5-point favorites. Vegas knows what they're doing. Tennessee's a good football team. They're better than Florida. But, and I know Ben mentioned how this team doesn't put much stock into the history of it. And while I think that's fair, it is a rivalry game, no matter how you look at it. There's a little extra feeling in the air when you step out into warm-ups in Neyland, and there's already 60,000, 50,000 people in there screaming. There's a really different feeling when you run out of the tee, and it's just bonkers in there, and kickoff's still 2 minutes away. You really need a game from Hendon Hooker from the start. Don't need to get time to get warmed up like Pitt, like Akron. You don't want that. But it's what makes college football, I think, it's so special, is that there are games like this where Tennessee is 10.5-point favorites that it's just probably going to be a close game. But the thing is Tennessee's already proven they can win those close games. While Florida kind of did it against Utah and kind of did against USF, it was a more of how much can they crap it away rather than how much can you win it. Tennessee's defense came up huge.
Again, they haven't been over a 5.5-point favorite in 50 years, I think. Is that right?
Tennessee against
Florida?
Probably. I haven't seen that stat, but probably. I would be surprised.
You want to hear another stat?
I do.
Tennessee has scored 35-plus points in 6 straight games. Here's the thing. I don't think Florida can score 35 points.
No, I don't think they – I don't – and I think it's going to be very tough for Tennessee to do it this week. Can they? Sure.
Especially just running the football. But, you know, I know they have, like, what's their yardage per game? 212 is what Florida's getting on the ground. Tennessee gives up 83.3.
And they
so something's got to give.
Something's got to give. They got, 280 last year on the ground against Tennessee. They lost, 260 of that production.
Yeah.
So where do you gain that? And then this Tennessee front seven is light years ahead of where they were this time last year.
It's relentless. I just love the matchup. You know, you look at the linebackers. You know, I know that they kind of have their weakness as, you know, covering guys up, but something that they don't give up is a lot of rushing yards. You know, they can tackle with the best of them. Jeremy Banks, Juwan Mitchell, Aaron Beasley, those are tackling machines. So, you know, I think you'll see a ton of that this week. Do I see them utilizing – I know Akron threw for a lot of yards with their running backs over the middle and in the flats and stuff. Maybe Florida utilizes that, but that's still not going to score 35 points.
Yeah, and it's also – you talk about that defense isn't going to look like it did against Akron. It's not going to look as vanilla and there's going to be a lot of different looks, which makes it more difficult. Landon, I'm sorry. Good point from Wes here. Pitt over 35. Pitt was just 34. So was it the last 6 SEC games? Would that be right?
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Or maybe 30.
Look. Maybe 30. Okay.
Oh, yeah, 30. It's 30 points. Sorry.
Okay.
30 points in 6 straight games.
Gotcha.
Florida doesn't score 30.
No, I don't think they do either. I think if Florida scores over 30 in this game, I've got a lot of questions for Tim Banks. And you guys know how I am with him. I'm still a little week by week with him, but I'm always riding with him this week. I'm riding with Tim Banks. I think he dials it up on Anthony Richardson. If he is hurt, here's the problem. He's going to get hit. And if I have to listen to another, well, Florida didn't win with their starting quarterback in, shut up. He's going to get hit this game. Tell the offensive line to protect him if you don't want to play with a backup quarterback.
And there's no way he's healthy because that's the only way that, you know, that offense kind of runs like they did against Utah. And since that Kentucky game, he hasn't ran the ball a lot.
Yeah, Kentucky beat him up too. I think they had 5 sacks maybe in that game.
Yeah. He's been beat up along the way. So, you know, I'm sure he's – again, we talk about it basically every week since that Pitt game or, you know, last couple episodes. It's, you know, putting the fear – in opposing quarterbacks. When they go back and watch that film against Pitt and they see how many times that quarterback got hit, whoever it was, Patty or Slovis, you know, they're thinking about that. That's in the back of Anthony Richardson's mind right now. And, you know, you go do that a couple times, he's done. Florida's done. Florida's not good. On paper, Tennessee beats them by 3 touchdowns. They're not good. They suck. Florida sucks.
Wesley,
and this is for real. This isn't just me being a Tennessee fan. Florida is not a good football team.
Florida's not good. And hey, credit to Dan Mullen for really burying them.
Yeah.
That's credit to Dan Mullen. Wesley also said Fan Run mentioned one thing to look out for is the screen game, running back screen. But the screen game, I think that is a question for Tennessee as far as they're aggressive, man. Their ends love to get upfield. Those guys coming off the edge love to get upfield. That opens it up. Here's the thing, though, is Tennessee's linebacking group has been very, very good in getting to the ball. We talked about Banks has always been able to play sideline to sideline. Beasley's doing a better job of it. Hopefully, Juwan Mitchell's healthy for this game. Got some quality reps in against Akron. With Tennessee's linebacking group playing good, Tennessee doesn't get buried by the screen. That's not what – you cannot just beat Tennessee with that screen game. When you also talk about those edge rushers that get upfield, Tyler Barron and Byron Young are fast. They can recover quickly. Amari Thomas, he might be 340, however massive he is. I'm probably underselling that, as well as the roster's underselling that. But he's quick. He can move. So they don't get buried. You have Jalen McColl and Trayvon Flowers, who are great in run support. They don't get buried by the screen game. Is that something that Florida may capitalize on? Sure. They don't win with that, though.
No, 100%. 100%. And you want to keep throwing screens, fine. But at some point, Tennessee is just not going to bite. And that's going to that's going to be a pick. And if you hit Anthony Richardson on a screen, because usually a quarterback's getting hit on a screen. If he's getting hit, how many times does he get hit before he short arms one?
Yeah. Can he stay in it the whole time? Can he stay in it for 60 minutes? I doubt it. Yeah. This Florida team is just not great. Talked about the trenches, kind of going back to Florida's offensive line. It's been a big question mark all year. And listen, we talked about how great your quarterback is. The one problem with it is part of it, you can only be so great if your offensive line isn't great. So even if Anthony Richardson has his best day, can they keep Tyler Barron, Byron Young, Amari Thomas, whoever you plug in next to him out of the backfield? They have not proved it up to this point. And now they're going on the road. Now they're going to be playing in the nastiest environment in college football Saturday night.
100%. And, this is kind of – I know Anthony Richardson's played in some big games, but he hasn't started. And he hasn't played in a what did Tony Vitello call Lindsey Nelson?
Hornet's nest.
Hornet's nest. Yeah, he isn't – yeah, and this is a big old hornet's nest.
This is a combustion chamber, dude. This is a combustion chamber.
Hornet Kingdom.
Also, Emily just texted me. I started to pick up some orange tablecloths. They're sold out of everywhere in Tennessee. Everywhere. Orange tablecloths are gone. We've checked from Johnson City to Cleveland, baby.
That's a good sign.
Sorry, I just got distracted with that.
No, but you stop the run, you win the game. I don't think this Tim Banks is going to let one person beat him. And I think the only person that is capable of beating a team is Anthony Richardson.
And I think Trevor.
And maybe he might have a few tackles, but that means Tennessee's getting the ball back.
And I think Trevor Etienne can get his due, but he's not going to win the game for Florida, especially if this offensive line isn't. Again, how far can that offensive line take them is the biggest question mark. And with Tennessee's defense, I don't think they can take them far.
Yep.
So there you have it.
I'm excited. Florida's secondary is pretty good, but again, I think Josh Heupel can dial up some plays and get some people open. I don't think it has to be Cedric Tillman. Now, I think it hurts a little bit. They're like, hey, when you need a play, who you going to? Is it Jalen Hyde? Did he gain enough confidence in that Akron game to be that guy this week? Or, but I also kind of look at it as a positive. Hendon Hooker needs to spread the ball around a little bit more. 18 targets for Cedric Tillman and in the pit game, only 4 for Brew McCoy. I just think this is a good opportunity for him to get comfortable with those guys without Cedric Tillman, and that just sets you up better for the rest of the season.
For sure.
Man, I'm fired up. I really am.
I can't wait.
They're not good.
No, I'm fired up for the
Billy Napier is a shark humper too. He did it too.
Hey, I said this. Billy's a good old Tennessee guy. I only hate him while he's at Florida. And I hate you right now. I just want you to know that. So yeah, we'll
man, I can't wait for the atmosphere. I mean, it is gonna be insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How does Florida handle that? I mean, they haven't really handled adversity very well at home. So, like, how well is it going to be in Neyland Stadium when you make it a bad play and have to hear about it for another 45 minutes?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, and I think there is probably a level of. Florida might find some dudes that thrive in this environment. That they need the kind of – they've only played home games. That's all they've played at this point. Tennessee has had the benefit of going on the road. They did kind of get a simulation, if you will, because you can't replicate what Saturday night's going to be. You can't possibly replicate it. So they did maybe get like a little simulation of that on Saturday against Akron in the first few minutes. So that's good. But maybe Florida does find some dudes. But again, I just don't think this roster has enough to go the length with Tennessee. I think it is going to be a dogfight, especially for the first 30 minutes. After that, who knows? But I think also kind of going into what it takes for Tennessee to win, this offense does have to score points. It can't be, and you can't have another stagnant second half like you did against Pitt. That gives Florida hope. And in these games, hope is even more deadly than games like USF. You gotta put away all doubt every moment you get. When you get a chance to get that kill shot, Hendon Hooker's got to hit whoever and go score. Jabari Small, Jalen Wright, Dylan Sampson, whoever has the ball has to go hard and get the first down or get into the end zone. You've got to put them away the first chance you get, because the longer they hang around, the nastier this game's going to be. And now you're talking about, does this rivalry bring history into the equation? Keep history out of the equation.
Yeah, leave no doubt. And I think that starts with starting fast. Hendon Hooker struggled the last 3 games of, on that first drive, just hitting open receivers, just, being a little erratic with his throws. I just, if you're able to start fast, I just think take Florida's running game out of it.
Yeah.
Jump up 14 points. Make them have to throw it. If you're making Florida have to throw the football,
I feel
it's
very
over.
good. Yeah,
it's over.
Very good.
It's over.
I'm trying to, again, I think this is another dogfight. I think this is Pitt. I think it's another just fourth quarter win, just because of it is an SEC game. It is a rivalry game.
But you also got to remember, we played horrible against Pitt.
We did play bad. But I mean, I think it is unfair to say that Pitt didn't have something to do with that. Now, I think there were some missed opportunities. You talk about the Cedric in the end zone. Hendon struggling early, couldn't get the run game going. But I think block punt. I think that's another thing. Tennessee's got to clean up the punt game.
Special teams in general just has to be better.
Yes, absolutely. But got to clean up the punt game. I think Tennessee's offensive line has to play good enough, at least good enough that it allows your running backs to take advantage of seams, holes. Give them the chance to run the ball. Now, I think Pitt's front seven is way ahead of Florida's. Again, I think Pitt's had a lot to do with Tennessee's running struggles. So I don't expect the same type of running struggles. But those are the things that Tennessee can't let hinder them in the first half, if you want to let Hendon loose in the second half. So, yeah, I think it is just going to be one of those games that if you don't come out and take care of business early, now you found yourself in a dogfight for 60 minutes. So, yeah, go get up, like you said, get up 14 points early and force Florida to do things they aren't comfortable doing. And then your defense has even better opportunity to take advantage. And yeah, special teams is going to be huge. I think special teams, like any game, is going to be the deciding factor. If you have a block punt in this game, not looking good.
Yeah, don't give them hope.
Yeah, exactly.
We gave Pitt hope.
Yeah.
Don't give Florida hope this week. For my blood pressure, for a lot of people's blood pressure in the stands, let's just take care of business against Florida. Again, let's take the history out of it. Leave it out.
Yeah, leave it at home. Leave it. Better yet, burn it before you get on the bus for the Vol Walk. If you haven't burned it yet this week, maybe have like a ceremonial burning of the history books inside Anderson Training Facility. Get all the juju out. This team is different. It's not.
Let's be a covering machine this week.
Yeah, yes. Go. Good team win.
Great teams cover.
Go do it. 10.5 isn't impossible for this team because they can score and they can score fast, and that is a deadly combination for a team like Florida.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see this matchup. Dude, I like our defense in this. The only thing that really worries me about the defense is our secondary, and I just don't think Florida has any receivers that make me nervous or scare me. And Anthony Richardson's arm doesn't scare me either. Now, maybe I'm eating my words, come 7:30 on Saturday, but I like Tennessee's chances. I like Willie Martinez. I like Kamal Haddon. We got a veteran, defensive backfield back there. I just think Tennessee's going to be fine defensively. I just think on paper, Tennessee wins in every facet of the game.
Yeah, I agree. And we have a good question kind of getting into our predictions. Tennessee wins the coin toss. What are you doing? Actually, I want to ask both ways. Tennessee if whoever wins the coin toss, let's start with Tennessee. What are you doing?
I'm switching it up. I think Hendon Hooker needs to get his feet wet a little bit. Maybe that's just being in the game, like on the sideline. Maybe that he just needs to get all those nerves kind of out, get that first play out of the way. And I think Tennessee's sitting pretty. I think getting that, having that defense get a stop on the very first drive is going to be huge. And then give that freaking disgusting offense that we have just, 7 points on the board. I just think that's when you start stepping on the throat a little bit.
Yeah, I don't
you kind of take any momentum or hope out of the sails right there.
I don't hate that, and you kind of flipped it for me a little bit. I've been struggling to decide. I just think it's not good if Florida does come out and scores the first drive, but I just really don't think they can. So I kind of like that. I like Tennessee going defensively first because I also think it should give you better field position on your first offensive drive.
Well, and the crowd, I mean, I know it's going to be loud throughout the game, but that's probably the loudest it's going to be is,
don't let us get to a TV timeout.
Yeah.
Don't let people start sitting down. I definitely can see both ways, Wes. I think I do see. I think I like kicking it first time if you win. And reverse Florida, I go opposite for Florida. I'm kicking it Tennessee first time. I'm hoping we can make Hendon Hooker first game or first snap jitters, first drive jitters. Maybe we can mess something up, get them out of their rhythm early. Because like I said, I don't think Florida can score the first drive. So unless you're Billy Napier and you just feel really good about the first 10 plays you have scripted, I'm kicking the ball away and letting my best unit's my defense. So I'm letting them on the field first and trying to wreak havoc, take the wind out of the sails from the crowd quickly. Tennessee, I mean, come on, you've been in these crazy games. You know Tennessee's not going to quit, but you try to make them. You try to make the ball. You try to make Ball Nation quit. So I do go opposite. I'm kicking whoever. If I win the coin toss, I'm kicking whatever team I am.
Yeah, I definitely got to agree with that. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't, but it's fun to talk about.
Yeah,
what else are we going to talk about?
No, I'm just saying it. We're going to score. We're going to be up 7-0. Go ahead and hit that first quarter spread.
Is it set? What is it?
It's got to be 6.5 or 6 or something like that. So
okay, interesting. Tennessee's played better in the second quarter, so if that is it, I'm a little scared. But no, I like Tennessee to get ahead early, and I like Hendon Hooker. We talk about this
was his first start last year, right?
No, we had a game in between Pitt and them.
Oh, okay. That's right. We had some random.
I can't remember who it was now off the top of my head.
But this is when the offense really started clicking in this Florida matchup, and then we saw we got destroyed defensively throughout the rest of the year with a running quarterback. But I think Anthony Richardson is a different running quarterback. I don't think he's a Matt Corral, and I think Tennessee's better defensively. I don't think they're going to let one quarterback run all over them. Got to keep him in the pocket. Byron Young, Tyler Barron's got to do a good job of that. But man, I'll put our edges up against Anthony Richardson up any day.
Yeah, it was Tennessee Tech was Hooker's first start. And yeah, I agree that Anthony Richardson's not the same running quarterback that Tennessee saw last year, but I also think this defensive line is a different defensive line than any running quarterback.
Some push, man.
Yeah, well, they got some push and they're fast. They recover well. You have
some depth behind them too.
Well, you have the benefit of the edge rushers do a good job of collapsing that pocket early. And then you have the interior line to help clean up things. So if you played Matt Corral this year, I would feel very differently about Tennessee's defensive line. I just think it's a different animal than it was last year. Not that Matt Corral wouldn't get his due. I think Trevor Etienne gets his due. No, he's not playing quarterback. I think Anthony Richardson, I would be very, very shocked just because I would think Billy Napier probably schemes a game to not give him a lot of chances to get into trouble. Because if you do, you lost. He's not. he's not going to win you the ball game. Don't let him lose you the ball game.
Yeah, and that's another thing with our DBs. They can't be playing off.
Yeah, don't give him the cheapies.
Yeah, they gotta be in those receivers' face. Again, they don't have a deep threat at all. Their leading wide receiver is a wide receiver. I can say that because I was one. You know, I shouldn't. You know, we shouldn't lead the game. We shouldn't lead a team in receiving. I'm sorry, unless he's not Cooper Kupp. I forget
Even
where he's
him.
from.
I would argue shouldn't.
Yeah. I forget where he's from. Ricky Pearsall, I think.
He's transferred from
is it Central Michigan?
That sounds right, actually.
Yeah, something like that. So I think he's 120 yards. Again, Jalen had that, last week. So Weston said, how much do you guys think the stop, drop, roll routine hurts us? Do we practice a slow down tempo? I mean, it's going to happen.
It is, and just
especially if they put that big dude, that number 21 in. It's going to happen.
Expect it during SEC play all the time, but I think also here's what I'd like to see Tennessee do as well is when you get chances to take advantage of it, take advantage. If Ole Miss has their best guy go down, he's probably sitting out at least a play.
Go right at him.
Well, yeah, and try to keep him off the field. Don't substitute the next one, and try to keep it rolling. If they get another entry, you attack the next guy, and I think just keep doing that. I would like to see Tennessee. I don't want to see them go away from their, who they are. That's part of Tennessee's identity is their speed on offense. But I would like to see Tennessee be able to slow the ball down at some point and still get first downs and still make plays and maybe even score on that drive, because I think it's going to be necessary throughout this year because, like you said, it's going to happen.
Got to kill the clock.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to have to do it.
Yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter if you're scoring.
Well, and the rules aren't going to change until it hurts Alabama. So just get used to it.
That's true. That's a good point.
Just get used to it. Until Nick Saban and Kirby Smart start complaining about it, nothing's going to be done. So
here's the thing: like, as many of those people booing and stuff, like, how's that going to look come, Monday or even Saturday night, Sunday morning, when we're talking about Tennessee's 2-touchdown win and Florida was doing that on defense.
Yeah.
It just says that you can't stop it. That's what it says. It should be a compliment to Josh Heupel in this offense. Hey, we can't stop you, so I'm just going to lay down on the ground, and hopefully that, takes you out of a rhythm.
Right. And also curious, like tennis, like we talked about it last year. I went back and watched the Ole Miss game, took emotion out of it, just watched it. They thankfully didn't do it as much as I thought they did. I think they only had 2 more injuries than Tennessee. And that's for the people that argue with me. I counted every time play was stopped. Like people were like, no, that they got free timeouts. Every time play was stopped, I counted. I believe they had 11. Tennessee had 9. And I think here's the thing is I think Ole Miss had like 9 defensive ones. I think only 2 offensive injuries. So one of those was Matt Corral's, but whereas Tennessee's was a mix. But yeah, I think it's gonna happen and it's gonna be part of the game. That's a lot of injuries. I think it's supposed to be 80 degrees at around 3 o'clock, so it is gonna be hot. Florida doesn't have much of an excuse. They've been playing all preseason in Gainesville, and that place is just a dump, and it smells and it's hot, and so they should be used to it. But yeah, I like you said, it's just part of the game. So get used to it and try to take advantage of it. Try to find a way to make it advantageous for you.
Score prediction.
This one's tough for me. This one's tough because I do want to take Tennessee to cover. I just don't know. I do think the under hits. Is it 67 right now? Do you have it?
I can get it.
I think it's the under. Yeah, pull that up for me. I'm going to go, I think Tennessee puts up 38. Man, here's the problem. I'm getting myself into a pickle because I don't see Florida covering, but I just don't I don't see Tennessee covering, but I don't see Florida scoring a lot of points, and I think Tennessee gets their due. I think Tennessee probably has it. You probably see a defensive touchdown, or at least, a tight.
It's 62.5.
Okay, so Tennessee. Okay, over hits. That's low. They don't think Florida's scoring a lot.
I don't either.
So I've got 10. I'm gonna go Tennessee 38. I'm gonna go Florida 28. So
Okay, I'm close.
Depending on where you got the line, Tennessee may cover. I think it's floated around 9.5, 10.5, 10. So depending on where you got it, you may cover. But I have a hard time believing without a defensive touchdown, Florida scores 4 touchdowns. But that's the case.
I'm going 38-24, and I think Florida scores a garbage touchdown.
Okay. 38-24, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Balls,
baby. Let's go.
Also, Anthony Richardson gets another tackle because he throws another pick.
I don't think he gets a tackle. I think he watches our guy walk into the end zone.
I think it's a defensive lineman.
Okay.
And so they just kind of trip over Anthony Richardson.
Right.
Yeah.
Which Rocky Top do you want, Band or Osborne Brothers?
Is that even a question?
It is. I like both.
Band, baby.
Band.
Give me the band. Give me the atmosphere. Give me Neyland.
This is after a Tennessee touchdown, baby. Everybody close your eyes. Picture your body shaking from the noise. Oh, Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me. Come on. Woo!
I heard Cedric Tillman was hurt, so if they need somebody to catch some balls, I got you.
Did you get those from Matt?
Huh?
Did you get those from Matt? Were they on display? Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
no. I got these at that yard sale a couple years ago. And they actually fit. They're an extra large.
You wear them for us? You wear them for flag football?
Yeah, I actually wear them in the house sometimes. And when my wife's standing in front of me, I try to get off of her.
You should. I hope you actually do that. that would be the most football guy move of all time. So
I get that release going.
Exactly. All right, so let me ask you, and if you're in the chat, drop them. I want to read them. Landon, why we're waiting on Dylan to get in here? We're going to talk some college football, give our locks. Why do you hate Florida?
Why do I hate Florida? I think their colors are gaudy.
Yeah, they're pretty ugly.
Yeah. I just think Gainesville is just a trash city. It's just you couldn't pick a better city in the state of Florida.
Yeah, there are a lot of good cities, and you kind of missed out on them. That is a good point.
Yeah. I hate their coaches. Steve Spurrier wears a visor way too high on his head, and I hate the shark humper that they had.
Dan Mullen singing Rocky Top today made me cry. I was not happy about it.
What? He also picked Tennessee.
And he sang Rocky Top.
Wow, what?
What was his buyout? Just $8 million just laughing, singing Rocky Top? You left that program in disarray.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah.
What was the South Carolina coach?
Muschamp.
Yeah, I hate Muschamp.
Yeah.
Also,
he's
Tim Tebow is a more likable Dabo Sweeney to me.
I hate Tim Tebow. I think he's a fraud.
Okay, cool.
I think Tim Tebow's a fraud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, let's play that card. Okay.
I think you've had your chance to go be a missionary, brother.
Ooh. I love it.
I'm sorry. He's an evangelicus.
Yeah, you wanted to be in front of the camera too much for me to think that you were actually being serious.
Yeah, I don't buy into his bit, and I know that's not going to hit with the Christian community. I know a lot of Tennessee fans liked how he presented himself, but
apparently he is a nice guy.
He seems nice. That doesn't mean he's not a fraud.
Right. Yeah.
He doesn't seem like the type that's you can't come into my church.
He sucks at baseball too.
Yeah, and
he wouldn't play it as long as he did if he wasn't Tim Tebow.
Yo, 100%. Which I didn't hate that deal as much because that's kind of just what minor leagues are about. Almost half of it. You gotta sell tickets.
Whole couple seasons worth of promotions all into one.
Yeah. So no, it's but yeah, no, I think he's a fraud.
Okay. I like that.
I think the ESPN cameras got to him. So.
Are we going to talk about Aaron Hernandez or
that's another thing?
Riley Cooper,
kind of like Urban Meyer, good Christian man, Urban Meyer.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff happening around you, brother.
Finger and buttholes.
Your name was Urban Meyer. Sucks. Urban Meyer is
he going to Nebraska?
A terrible person. No, why would you? If he goes to Nebraska, his ego.
We asked the same thing when he went to Jacksonville.
Correct, and I said it then. His ego is way bigger than I ever thought it could be, which was shocking. If he decides to go back into coaching, his ego is at another level, and his wife's ego is probably even bigger. They are frauds. They are garbage people. Frauds, every one of them. Gainesville has produced some of the biggest frauds this nation's ever seen. The state of Florida has, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't love jorts.
I love jorts.
I don't love.
More ironically, they don't wear them ironically.
See, I don't love them. Yeah, if you cut jeans off, those are jorts.
Right. Ironically, but you see people
not
wear
the ones you actually buy in a store.
Yeah, those are the worst.
Ever
cargo jorts.
Yeah. No, that's. There shouldn't be a seam at the bottom of your jorts.
They should be fraying, okay? Have some class.
Yeah, come on.
I hate Tim Tebow. I hate Steve Spurrier. I hate that I walk my dog and I have to see Steve Spurrier field all the time. That sucks.
Ugh.
Yeah. Makes me want to burn that high school to the ground and piss on the ashes. Steve Spurrier sucks. I think he's funny. Let's also establish Steve Spurrier's way funnier. Like, Lane Kiffin wants to be Steve Spurrier so bad, and he never will be. Ever.
Well, he didn't win a Heisman, so yeah, there's no way.
He actually didn't even stay on the team at Fresno State, so. Fresno State. Yeah.
He got an that's why. He wanted to go to his dream school, Caleb.
Right. Whose dream school would be USC? It's just land full of fraud. You have Aaron Hernandez. He's murdered multiple people, including himself. You have Riley Cooper, who's just a racist piece of crap. I feel like we could go on about some of the terrible people that have gone to school there. So, yeah. Who did Joakim Noah punch in the face? Was it...
what about their... Who was it?
They built
he's not even there. But the one who hit Folky.
Yeah, that guy. I can't remember who that was either. Scumbag.
Yeah, he didn't even finish up Florida.
Scumbags and frauds, all of them. The best coach you ever had left you just to go suck in the NBA. Come on.
That's true.
Yeah. And I'm sorry.
Tennessee swept you and then wore your helmets, you know.
Nicknaming your stadium the Swamp. Who wants to... Are you an ogre? What?
Get out of me, swamp.
Yeah, come on. You're no Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek's way better.
I hate Florida. I hate their fans. If I get... Chomp all you want, but don't chomp in my face.
It's also the dumbest penalty in the world when they can chomp all they want to, and then when we do it, we get a penalty.
It's the same thing as the horns down, horns up thing.
It's like, at least the horns down, you're doing something differently. It's the same thing.
Yes, I would agree, but also, what if I just accidentally flip my hands?
I get what you're... I'm just saying, like, this is even worse.
Yeah, the John Kelly, which ended up costing us the game. Not really. They still shouldn't have scored. Yeah, that's the dumbest penalty ever. Don't chomp. Don't give up cheap yardage unless you put up a 50 burger or something. Then I'll let you chomp.
Also, don't you hate Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, he's sucked on my fantasy team this year. So yeah, especially.
That's what I thought. Yeah, he's a fraud too.
Fraud meter. Kyle Pitts is off the charts.
Yeah.
Kyle
Trask thought he was going to be a good quarterback in the NFL.
They switched the last letter of birth, apparently. It was supposed to be Trash, and they slipped a K in there. K-H.
Felipe Franks, decided he didn't want to play quarterback anymore and just went straight to tight end.
I didn't know that. Is he in the CFL?
I think he was with the Falcons. He probably got cut. I would say that's probably...
So he went full Tim Tebow, except Tebow didn't. He did what Tebow should have done?
Yes, apparently, yeah.
Also, we did forget that Tim Tebow tried to play tight end for Urban Meyer, which at the age of what, 33 for the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Fraud. They're all frauds. And Tennessee's just let them fraud around all they want. Go win. Go flip the script.
God, let's celebrate all night long.
We are. I don't want to go out. We're going to have enough beer at the tailgate to post-game tailgate.
We might
I don't
go
want to
out.
spend money. I don't want to spend money.
We might.
And every bar is going to be packed.
What if I buy your drinks? Will you go out?
All right, I'll go out.
That was hard.
Well, I mean, like, what? Are you kidding me?
One drink, everybody knows the word.
I do have to drive to Johnson City the next morning because I have a wedding to go to. But, hey, the Vols win, you win. What are we going to do about it? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Apparently, George Pickens had an OBJ moment. I don't know. I didn't
Not
see
Florida
it.
guy. We're good.
Yeah. Georgia, which we'll talk about him when we get to Georgia.
Also, I forgot that George Pickens squirted that water bottle in Jared Garantano's face that one time.
God. We had to bring him up again.
He's an idiot.
Oh, my God. We couldn't go one show without mentioning JG.
Do you think there's going to be a lot of Florida fans there? Like, what do you think it looks like?
I think it'll look like how it usually is, like how it was in 16.
You don't think some
Are
Florida
you
fans...
wearing orange? Do you know you're...
I'm in white. Yeah, I'm in white.
You're in white? Okay, I'm
Second
in
year in a
orange.
row, unfortunately.
You want this shirt?
Right? I've got one. I've got a couple nice polos. I think Florida fans, they know they suck. They saw the ticket prices, and they're taking advantage. Wouldn't you?
Oh, 100%.
I wouldn't
Somebody
drop down.
offer me $1,000 right now, I'd definitely think about it.
I'm going to be in the stadium. I can't.
Well, I'll sell for $1,000 and buy one online for like $250.
That's fair. Yeah, that's a good point. The point is I'm going to be in the stadium.
100%. We'll be there. Butt naked making eggs. It's gonna be insane. I can't wait. In 2016, the last time we had this kind of an atmosphere, we just 21.
Yeah, that was we turned 21 that spring.
Wow.
Yeah, we tailgated for that game.
Oh yeah, where's Tease Tabor at? That's another reason I hate Florida. Where's he at?
Get you some of that, Tease.
Yeah. All right, you want to get in college football?
Yeah, let's get into college football. I need to pull up some games.
We got our boy Small Hands Dylan. He's coming
Dylan,
on, giving his locks.
Dylan, are you going game? I know you'll be in town.
Working on tickets, but we'll see what happens. I'll at least be tailgating my ass off with you guys.
Yes, sir.
Honestly,
also,
if you wanted to stay, would you stay at the tailgate or would y'all go to a bar? What would you do?
I don't know, tough decision because at the tailgate, free beer and food, but at the bar, you got the atmosphere. It's a toss-up. Game time decision, literally.
yeah, that's a good point. I like game time decisions.
Make it before game time so we know how much we have to clean up.
I got you.
Hold it close to your chest, like every college coach in their injury updates.
Will do.
Let's get into college football a little bit. Some good games. Florida's obviously the best game of the weekend. Do you just want to start with locks? Do you just want to start there? Or do you want to go kind of?
Yeah, I think.
Or do you want me to list some games?
I think let's run through our locks and then we'll talk some games.
Are we gonna recap last week?
Yeah, we can.
We all went 3-2, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
That's in the green, baby. That's all we want.
In the green, hard fought battle between the three of us.
Yeah, up a unit. Everybody up a unit.
Up a unit, baby.
I'll tell you, when I was sweating those unders, though, oof.
Yeah, it's not fun to bet unders.
Also, NFL sucks. NFL isn't fun at all.
Very. I didn't even turn on Thursday Night Football tonight so far.
I'm going
I'm
to
boycotting.
after this. Speaking of that,
I'm watching West Virginia, Virginia Tech.
What was the first quarter?
It did not. Was it 10?
Dang. 10.5.
They had 10.
Dang, they still have 10.
Yeah, it's 3-7.
Dang. Off to a bad start, boys.
Was that a lock?
No, it wasn't a lock. It was just.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I just played it.
All right, let's go, Dylan. You want to start us off with your first lock?
I can. Let's see. What am I most confident about?
Don't we all have one of the same locks?
I think we have
I
several.
think so.
Okay.
Are you guys riding hard on the Clemson Wake Forest over 55 and a half?
That's not my lock, but I'm going to tell you on that one. Yeah, I'm going to tell you on that.
Lock it in, Dilly Bet style.
Well, what's that number at?
It was 55 and a half when I got it. I haven't seen it move much recently, so
easy.
It's just a weird game to me because I don't like Clemson's offense, but I love their defense. And Wake Forest, the only thing they have going for them is their offense.
Yeah, but it's 55 points.
I know.
In an ACC game.
Exactly my thought process.
We'll see. I'll play around and we'll see what happens.
Hey, you can always tease it. Get on FanDuel and tease that bad boy.
Tease it.
It's true.
Tease it like Tabor?
Hell no.
Not if you want to lose. Or not if you want to win, I guess.
All right. Caleb, you want to go?
Yeah, this one I've got, this is kind of talking Florida a little bit. I've got USF to cover Louisville plus 13. USF coming off just probably something they'd like to rinse out of their system after last week. Louisville looked bad against Florida State. I think it's going to be a similar close game. 13's a lot of points. I've got USF to cover 13 against Louisville.
Okay, I like that. Mine, I think, is one we all have. USC minus 6.5. I think it's down to 5.5 now over Oregon State.
It
Double
is.
dip.
And apparently the public money is all over Oregon State plus 5.5. Don't know
They
why.
can be all over.
Don't know why. We're
Keep
going
going
to fade it
down.
up.
I'll triple dip, quadruple dip.
Yeah,
keep
let's
going.
keep waiting it out.
No, I'm taking it at every point. Just keep going.
What a bunch of morons. I just it's Oregon State. I mean, I know they're decent this year, but it's USC. They're going to score points.
Yeah.
Also,
USC's
kind of
been
like the
showing
under
up.
this game. I just like taking every under that's 70 plus.
There you go. I like it.
I hear that.
It's a fair point.
It's a lot of points to score.
Do both y'all have that as a lock?
I don't have it as a lock. I am.
I do.
Play it,
I
but
do.
did lock it.
I locked it in at 6.5 though, but I expect him to win by at least a touchdown. So either way, it should cash.
Oh wait,
14.
What under did you have? I thought you mentioned your second pick.
It's not a lock. I'm just playing the under in that game as well.
Okay, all right. What's your second pick? I am taking USC to cover that.
My second pick is another team that I'm riding from last week, Oklahoma.
Probably gonna tell that.
Don't trust Adrian
same.
Martinez, Kansas State. I know they got Deuce Vaughn, but it's Oklahoma. They put it on. Who did they play last week?
Nebraska.
Yeah, they put it on Nebraska.
Yeah,
They're
it seemed
gonna
like
put
they
it
really
on
got
Kansas
into rhythm after the first quarter.
And Brent Venables has a good defense. I mean, everybody gives credit to Oklahoma because of their offense, but Brent Venables is a defensive coach. Their defense is actually good.
Right, which is weird. And their offense is still – their offense probably isn't as high-powered as it was under Lincoln Riley, but still plenty of firepower.
And Kansas State lost to Tulane last week, so they're not good.
Wow, after destroying Missouri. I missed that loss to Tulane.
You've convinced me there, Landon. I think I'm going to tell that.
So minus 12.5.
I'll tell Oklahoma. My second one's Oregon to cover Washington State, minus 6.5. Washington State's not good. Oregon.
And they beat Wisconsin.
They beat Wisconsin, but are we going to put any stock into Wisconsin?
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
I think Oregon's turned that Georgia. I think Georgia's that good. I think that's really it.
Yeah, I said last week that I wasn't impressed with them. They definitely impressed me this past week. Especially because they, were such good and they covered.
Is it bow time?
On the under.
It might be, baby. It would be hilarious if it is with everything going on at Auburn. It would be hilarious. But I do have Oregon. It's a touchdown. If it was more than a touchdown, I'd probably be a little more scared off. It's win by a touchdown, 6.5.
Yep.
Solid. Let's see. My second one, I guess, would be Michigan minus 16.5. Michigan's been showing up to play this year, boys. I'm going to take them. They're playing Maryland. Maryland's been I expect Michigan to show up, shut down the offensive side of the ball for Maryland, and put up those points.
I don't hate it. I just 16.5 in a conference game is hard to go with. That's the only reason I'm questioning it.
Fair.
That's the only reason. That's it. I think Michigan should do it, honestly.
I mean, when's the last time that Maryland's been relevant?
No, ever, never. But I don't disagree. I think they should. I just don't know.
Caleb?
No, Dylan. Do y'all know how snake draft works? Jesus.
Sorry, I forgot. I'm
Sorry, I just
trying to
feel
watch
like
this
we're-
West Virginia and Virginia Tech game in the background. If you keep seeing me look away, they scored another field goal, so 6-7.
The first quarter over.
Yeah, just 2 quarters late or a quarter late. So next would be Kentucky and Northern Illinois going with the over 53 and a half.
Okay.
I feel very confident that UK is going to put up points, and so as long as Northern Illinois can score a couple TDs, I think it hits easy.
They should. That might be a garbage time cover. That might be
Yeah,
backdoor.
yeah, it might be backdoor because Northern Illinois lost to Vandy. So.
Well, and if they're that bad, who knows? Maybe Kentucky just blows the doors
Yeah,
off.
maybe they just maybe they scored.
When's Chris Rodriguez coming back? Is he still suspended?
Who knows?
Who knows? My next one is TCU
You
to
make
cover.
bail yet?
Huh?
You make bail yet?
I'm sure the hospital paid his way out. I've got TCU to cover SMU -1. It's a pick'em game. I like TCU to win this.
Okay.
Easy.
Any reason?
TCU is a better football team than SMU. SMU lost to, speaking of Maryland, they lost to Maryland last weekend. TCU isn't good. They're better than SMU.
Okay. I like it.
All right.
I'm going to check. Well, I'm going to eat my words right now. I honestly have not. I know TCU struggled this year.
That's just a gut feeling, right? That's a gut.
It's a little bit of gut. It's watching it. So TCU beat Colorado 38-13. Tarleton State, I'm not putting any cash into that. SMU's not good. I know TCU's not great this year, but like I said, it's pretty much a pick'em game. It's -1. You show me any team like that at -1, I'm probably taking them.
Go with your gut, man. I love it. Mine, I'm gonna steal another one away from Dylan. I got Michigan -16.5 over Maryland. I just think Michigan's defense gets it done. They beat the crap out of somebody last week and scored 52 points. They proved they can put up points. J.J. McCarthy has now entered the Heisman odds. So good for him. Congrats.
All signs point to the cover.
Blake Corum's going to have 3 or 4 touchdowns probably in this game. And, yeah, Michigan's going to cover. They're going to win big.
Hey,
I like it.
You see this brick wall behind me? That's what Michigan's defense is going to have Saturday.
What's your fourth one, Landon?
Cal over Arizona.
Money line.
Money
right?
line. Money
What's
line.
up? What are the odds?
It was like -160
Okay.
is what I got it at. I think it was -164 earlier today. But Arizona, they beat North Dakota State by 3 points last week. They got destroyed by Mississippi State. They're just not good. So I just like Cal.
Yeah.
Love me some Cal.
I agree. I did initially have that as a lock, but I, pulled off. Wasn't super confident in it, but still probably going to tail.
Oh, also SMU TCU is also a 70+ over under. So
you're going
TCU can
under
score.
baby.
TCU can score though.
Under.
All right.
I'm taking them
gonna stay
all.
away.
I'm gonna win more than I'm gonna lose. So taking them all.
Fair point. This one might bite me in the butt. I won't lie. This is kind of a revenge game for me. This is revenge. Texas to cover. Texas Tech -6. Texas Tech is crap. They lost to NC State. NC State sucks. Dave Doran should be fired.
Just for the ECU game, right?
NC State game or Texas Tech game. Why are they winning? Why is Texas Tech sucks? Yeah, the ECU game though. Texas Tech and NC State both suck. Texas Tech is awful. Texas, if they can't win by a touchdown, Texas will never be back ever. So revenge game for me. I'm putting the money there. I might double unit this bad boy. Texas to win by a touchdown.
All right, when yours is still out, so is Hudson Card?
It doesn't matter. Texas Tech sucks. It doesn't matter. Texas's defense is not going to let them score. And Texas Tech Texas Tech's defense, who are they going to stop? I'm confident I could play quarterback against them and get a few points.
Anthony Richardson might have a passing touchdown against them.
Maybe so. I would bet for it.
Too bad they don't allow college player props in Tennessee.
bets.
Yeah, I would bet Anthony Richardson has a tackle.
I would bet a pick for sure. So, like you said earlier, maybe by a lineman.
Yeah, definitely it's gonna be a defensive lineman. Somebody's gonna get it. Clemson Wake Forest is another big game this week. Who you get? I know somebody had the over.
Yep.
Do you like? I kind of like Clemson minus. I think it's -7. I might buy down a point and do -6.5.
I don't know. That's a tough call for me. That's why I went with the over.
But do you like? Okay, if you don't like them to cover, do you like Clemson money line to throw them in a parlay?
Yes,
Okay.
I do think Clemson pulls it out.
Okay.
Most
Caleb,
likely.
you got anything to add to that?
No, I think Clemson wins.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Baylor Iowa State is another big game.
Baylor Iowa State
away.
Remind me of the over. I think remind me of the.
I do kind of like this over. It's 45.5.
Ooh, see, I kind of like the under.
You like the under?
It's a pick'em game.
I won't take
45
it
and a half?
because it's so low. I won't take it. But let me throw you on another under that I'm gonna hit tonight for sure. Chattanooga, Illinois, 44. It's gonna hit. It was 7-0. I think at halftime. Hold on, I'm trying to pull it up.
Oh dang.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Iowa under.
Oh no,
as well.
it's 10-0 in the first. They started way later. Sorry. Coastal Georgia State though, over's looking good.
What's the score of that game?
27-17 at halftime.
Coastal.
Yeah, I think they're out of the half actually.
Is it Coastal winning?
Yeah.
God, I'll stay away from Coastal because I just think they suck.
Doesn't matter. You're betting the over. You're betting points, Landon. Doesn't matter if they suck.
Honestly, that
score.
2.5. That 2.5.
I'm kind of done betting on shitty teams. I learned my lesson with NC State and ECU. I'm done betting on crappy teams.
Can't blame you there.
If you can bet on this another under I have 55.5 Notre Dame, North Carolina. I think we talked about that one today, didn't we?
If we're talking unders, there's a couple of leans that I like. Troy Marshall under, and honestly, Ohio State and Wisconsin. I don't see.
I have another
going.
lock.
Oh, my last lock, I didn't share it, was USC to cover, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, same as
I also have Ole Miss. So I might replace Cal with Ole Miss.
You can't read off locks and replace.
Sorry.
Some sorry
That's not
souls
how it
already
works.
locked that in based on your word.
I mean, I'm still going to take it, but I'm going to take Ole Miss -20.5 over Tulsa.
Landon,
What
let me
were
put you
they?
on an under. Coastal and Georgia State shot up to 76. Live under.
I don't do live. Live is a way I just want to kill myself. Ole Miss beat Georgia Tech last week, 42-0. Tulsa is -20.5. Ole Miss locked that in.
Okay. I do want to talk about some Friday night games. Not interesting, just betting. I like Virginia to cover +10 against Syracuse. Thoughts?
I don't hate it.
10's a lot of points for a not great Syracuse team.
Virginia almost lost to
I
Old
agree.
Dominion.
Virginia did lose to Old Dominion.
Or Virginia Tech lost to Old Dominion.
Oh, did they? Okay.
It was one of the two, and the other one played Old Dominion too and almost got B-bombed also.
I thought Virginia lost. And then another one that I really like is Nevada to cover +24 versus Air Force. Can Air Force really go beat somebody by 24?
I don't see it happening. That's you've intrigued me. I think I'm going to tell that one.
And then last one.
Shitty teams, I can't do it.
Last one for Friday night, over 45.5 in the Boise State UTEP game.
That one I'm probably going to have to stay away from
You
it.
all just
Boise
scoffed at UTC Illinois 44. You scoffed at that under. And you won't even think about an over 45.5 for Boise State and UTEP? I hate you all so much. I
Crappy
hate you all.
teams, man.
It doesn't matter.
Hey,
It doesn't matter.
What do you think about Ohio State, Wisconsin -19?
Yeah, Ohio State. That offense was clicking now. Notre Dame was an outlier. First game jitters. It was an outlier.
I might tease that down a little bit.
I like the under more than the cover in that game.
What's
You like the under
at 70?
57?
57.
Ooh. I think Ohio State may score that on their own.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Wisconsin lost to Washington State. Who
Like I said, I
clarified.
don't like to ride the unders, but again, that's why they're not my locks. I don't think I have a single under as a lock this week, so we're good. Oh, speaking of locks, I do have one other one. Raging Cajuns -9 against UL Monroe.
I'm confused. Did you all give out your 5, or did we just forget to give our 5th out? And y'all just add locks?
Okay, that was my
Well,
5th. Ole Miss was my 5th. Yeah, I only gave out 4. Ole Miss is my 5th.
Yeah, and I think we all had a couple of the same, and that kind of got us confused.
Fine. Okay. I'm just asking, do y'all have more than 5 locks, or what are we doing?
No, that's
all.
all.
I got 5. I'll recap them for you if you want.
I don't want to hear you anymore.
Last
Stopping at my bets.
Last game.
It's like Chad.
Arkansas, Texas A&M. Who we got?
God, I want to take Arkansas so bad. But
they're plus money right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
It is in Texas. It's in Arlington, so it's a neutral site.
I think a lot of people got scared off by that Missouri State game, but are we forgetting that they lost to A&M lost to App State? Not played them close and ran away. They lost to App State.
They also beat the crap out of Miami last week.
Miami sucks, and they didn't beat the crap out of them. They played them close. Miami had a chance to win at the end.
Valid points.
Miami got overhyped. Miami was more overhyped than South Carolina.
What about the under? What's
that under?
That at? Hold on. The under.
Let me float you all out.
48.5.
Let me float you one I just saw that is not intriguing at all, but it's hilarious. Old Dominion -4.5 to Arkansas State. Butch Jones is already on the hot seat. Old Dominion's good. Arkansas State sucks.
I have them in a parlay.
Touchdown. Old Dominion, right? We're taking that.
I had them in a parlay. Yeah. I have them, and I think
we're fading Butch Jones at all costs.
Cal in
every day of the week.
Team parlay.
You can get Old Dominion money line at -235. That's not bad odds for a guaranteed dub. Not bad odds. Arkansas A&M's at 48.5. That under is intriguing, but I don't think it's high enough for me to take.
Yeah, I agree. Although I
did take quarterback Calzada or not Calzada.
Calzada's out.
Johnson or Haynes King.
Who's starting for Auburn this week? TJ Finley and Calzada are out.
Who are they playing then? Good
Missouri.
Lord.
Missouri. Yeah,
Missouri.
Don't touch it. Can't trust either of those teams no matter what. Don't touch it.
What do you know what the line is? I thought it was like -10.
It's like 7.5, I think, when I saw it.
Oh, Auburn was favored, weren't they?
Yeah.
I would not take Missouri to cover.
It didn't catch my eye, so I just kept going.
What was Vanderbilt's season win total?
2, I think.
3? No, it was 3.5 because they were supposed to win the first 3, and then
they're 3-1 right now. So,
do we just take Alabama to beat them by 40 because they probably do?
I mean, Bama covered 49 last week against a terrible team, so
yeah, I think they're. If it was at 3.5, that sucks because they're gonna win. They're not gonna win another game unless they beat Missouri or South Carolina,
which is possible.
It is possible.
Not saying it will happen, but it's possible. I don't think there's any other lines I would really touch in this one. I kind of like Kansas to win, but you can only get it at -7 right now.
Yeah, I don't love that.
If I could get it at -6.5, maybe, but 7, I'm looking for a push. I don't want to look for a push.
What's their over at right now?
Was it?
It was intriguing when I first
65.
saw it.
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Maybe I was looking at a different game. I thought it was in the 50s.
Bowling Green, Mississippi State's at 52.5. And Mississippi State's a 30-point favorite. I think Mississippi State scores at least 40, right? Can we get 2 tutties out of a Bowling Green team?
Crappy teams.
I mean,
Landon, this is where we make our money in college football, on crappy teams. What are we talking about?
I like games I can watch. I hate losing when I'm watching bad football.
I mean, that's fair.
It just makes me sick.
That's my college football season, is watching terrible football games.
But the 2 teams I'm riding all year, USC, Oklahoma.
That's fair. Pac-12
I
sucks.
agree
Big
on
12 sucks.
USC.
Keep riding.
Oklahoma, sometimes.
There was people saying Nebraska could win that game last week.
Who?
Scoff. There's you a scoff, Caleb.
Who said that? Who publicly claimed that?
Morons on College Game Day. I'm pretty sure Bear probably picked them. That freaking moron.
Bear sucks. I wish we had started fading him like we said we were going to.
Yeah.
Bear's awful. I would make a sign that just says Bear sucks if I go to College Game Day. Nothing else.
Yeah, that's
Bear
a good
sucks.
one. Fade Bear.
Bears in Vegas.
Fade Bear.
Yeah.
Um,
Kings plays Bear.
all right. Well, that's all I got for college football. I'm excited.
That's it.
Also, if Tennessee wins this game Saturday, they're probably going to be in the top 10. Isn't that insane?
Tennessee Volunteers are back.
Who is that guy?
Big Ev.
Big Ev. That's right.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, not sorry, but
The
So I'm
tailgate.
ready to go.
Let's get to that a little bit.
Ooh, yes, please.
The tailgate,
I've been
you
inviting
got-
people. I hope you're excited for that.
you've been
I have the
inviting people.
authority. I hope I have the authority to do that.
Yeah, just
What
the way
the
you
hell?
said it was pretty funny.
I'm just kidding.
Landon tweeted about it. I mean, we're talking about it on the show. Everybody's welcome. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Who are you inviting?
Everybody.
Just Joe.
I literally.
Dylan's been like walking into the grocery store with like a sign.
Yeah. Hey man, you want to come
Yeah.
to the tailgate?
Yeah, I got a shirt printed. It says "MII tailgate." I forget
me
the
up.
address, but
That
yeah,
would actually be a great shirt.
I've
I
actually
survived the
been giving
MIL
out
tailgate.
your all's numbers for them to hit up, so that way I
Have
don't
you
have to deal
actually?
with
Because I don't
text.
have my phone on game days.
Wesley Hall said, "Will there be a bigger table for beer pong this time?"
Hopefully, I need to text
Hopefully.
him right now.
Wesley, if you have one, you can bring that if you want.
Toasted
But hey,
ball.
Flip Cup was fun. I had a great time playing Flip Cup. There's going to be freaking. We got people on the mic. We got country line dancing.
Jesse smoking beats. and
Just line dancing. Yeah, there's going to be sliders. There's going to be
Brisket.
pork.
pork.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's gonna be heavenly. There's gonna be Jello shots out the butt.
What time we getting there again?
6.
Yeah, I'll be there at 6 a.m.
Bright and early.
Yeah, you
My
better.
shots are going to start out of.
Dylan, you better go to sleep now.
I'm gonna have Amanda drive in so I can sleep on the way in.
Jesus.
We won't get there until later Friday night. We'll
Man,
take it easy. We'll take it easy
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah, I just texted about a beer pong table. We should have one. We'll
Okay,
see.
cool. Yeah,
I'm
super
working on
excited
it.
about that. We got ham and goodies cookies. Shout out Austin Wyatt for sponsoring the tailgate. He's a dude's dude. If y'all need any kind of, if you're wanting to buy a house, sell a house, hit this man up. He'll be at the tailgate, so he can probably answer your questions pretty.
Dang, Lane, you're making a dude work on a Saturday?
Yeah, dude. I mean, hey, real estate don't take days off.
It doesn't, but come on, man. Let him enjoy a beer or something.
He's gonna be in his wife beater. You ever bought a house from a dude wearing a wife beater?
Is he gonna wear Kentucky stuff? Because I'll
No,
kick him out.
There's
All right,
no way.
Just making sure.
There's no way.
Is he
He's a
smoking?
Kentucky fan?
We smoking heaters?
He's a Kentucky fan, but he's the only Kentucky fan I like.
Is he bringing darts? Are we getting those rolling at the tailgate?
We could get some heaters going.
Dylan, you
just
want
get
to
a
run over
little
to that
chilly?
liquor store and pick up some cigars for me? Because I forgot to get them, and there's not a shop in South Knoxville.
I sure can.
There's not a shop in South Knoxville.
I don't think there is. Is there? I'm
There
sure I
used to
can
be-
find cigars.
There used to be one by the Stab and
Listen,
Go
Landon,
Wild.
we're not smoking Swisher Sweets. We're getting a nice. Not.
I don't
Cuban.
even know what that means.
I'm too cheap for that.
They're
It's
the worst.
gas station cigars. It's trash. Don't
Dylan,
smoke
I've
one.
seen you buy those a lot.
Don't throw this man under the bus. Don't do that to him. Don't you dare. I can't wait, boys. I'm pumped for this tailgate. It's gonna be. I told Landon, I was like, I think it's gonna be a little rowdy, which is good. You need a little rowdy. So come join in. If you're going to
Are
be
the
on
TV
campus,
going again? What the
hopefully
Nooners
2
going?
TVs.
Oh, maybe 2 TVs.
Maybe 2 TVs if the Wi-Fi
Nice.
cooperates or if someone else can run their hotspot. 2 TVs going. So
How
Hey,
am I supposed to
uh,
watch both of them?
Landon, definitely bring those gloves. I'm going to put them on and prove to you guys that I don't have small hands. I mean, look at them. Size of my
With
face.
wearing gloves? That you're just proving our point.
are you OJ Simpson? Like if the glove don't fit, must have quit.
Are you OJ or MJ?
Neither.
He's Dilly Betts.
Dilly Betts. You're still small hands Dylan to me.
Small hands, Dylan.
You got to win me a lot of
Bring 'em the
money
locks.
before you can be Dilly Betts.
I mean, have you tailed my bets?
Yeah,
That's a
they
lie.
suck. Yeah, your soccer bets.
What? I can't. I have to be a one sport better.
I mean, that's the only thing that you've really shared with me up until this point.
Oh, that's a lie. Come on now. You know I've been hitting the group chat for a solid year now.
Oh, whatever. Hey guys,
I've
I
been
won a
trying to get
fantasy
on
league.
here
My terrible
forever.
team won.
I lost to Riley. So
Oh
don't
my
talk about
God.
it. Yeah.
You might be on the river.
Follow me. Kind of made
Me
that
and you
bet
might
for
be on a
fun.
race to the bottom because I didn't even score 100 points last week.
I scored 87
Granted, I did have
with Tua on my
yeah.
bench. Tom Brady's
yeah, I
a
had-
scumbag, trash quarterback.
Oh, 2 is on your bench.
I mean, would you not have put Tua on your
No,
bench?
I'm not that. I'm just saying that sucks for you.
Yeah, he had like 47.
Yeah, I had Waddle and Bateman on my bench. So
And watch,
it was
I'm gonna start him this
70
week.
Points just chilling.
I'm going to start him this week, and Tuanon's going to get raided by the FBI and Mike, the pillow guy.
Hey,
Hey.
you want to do MI with MI real quick with Dylan on here?
Full disclosure, I didn't prepare it because I thought we'd
Okay.
run out of time, but I can look up
Well,
something.
we're
quick.
kind of out of time anyway, so we can
Yeah.
just do stupidity if you want.
Yeah, Dylan, you have anything stupid that happened to you this week, or you saw?
Let's see. I mean, I work from home, so I don't get out much.
Well, Landon we just look for him on Twitter mainly. Sometimes stupid stuff we did, but Landon, what do you got?
I had something. Oh, Shane Beamer making up a random participation trophy stat in his presser. He was bragging about South Carolina being 10-2 in the fourth quarter last year. I think he forgot that they
stat.
played 13 games.
Yeah, he did say that, and played 13 games. Also, it's not a good stat if you're down huge. Like, I went and looked, and only like 3 of those games mattered to win in the fourth quarter. So,
Good for him.
Good.
yeah, I mean, hey.
He does
you got-
cheer a lot when they score garbage time touchdowns. So it wasn't lying that he actually does like that stat.
Well, you got to win one quarter. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Why not the fourth?
Yeah, got to be the fourth. Yeah, best for last.
They didn't win. They didn't win the fourth quarter against Tennessee, by the way. That didn't happen.
So you're telling me that they're almost a quarter of the way through 4 quarters of a game.
Yes, almost quarter way. They're getting there, Dylan. Just hey, brick by brick, like Shane Beamer's best friend would say.
Brick by brick. Love.
That was an incredible scene.
Any more stupidities?
So I think this is a fail. This isn't stupidity. It's also amazing. Did you all see the MTSU field goal that hit the upright against Rice? Sorry, the Rice field goal against MTSU that hit the field goal 4 times. Did you all see that?
I did see a video of that.
Quadruple
The freaking pinball machine.
Dude, it was incredible. I think it hit the upright,
Hit the crossbar twice, yeah.
crossbar, upright. It was incredible. 4 times.
Crossbar
lost.
twice.
So it went, I think
Yeah,
it went
like
crossbar,
those.
upright, or sorry, upright, crossbar, crossbar, upright.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
It was
still didn't go in.
Did not go in.
That's awesome. My next one is Georgia's 2023 football schedule.
Oh my God. Yikes.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Oh my God! Like, are they scared?
I think
Stetson- is
they also
Stetson
got
Bennett-
screwed.
Their savior
also-
Stetson Bennett, is he when he leaves? Are they just like nervous?
Well,
about
they
what's
also
gonna
got
happen?
screwed by having to cancel Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So
But
I mean,
still.
there's and they
But
never
would
get
that
to
have
play
really
Florida.
helped?
They never get to play Florida at home, Florida at home either.
So UT Martin, Ball State sounds like a lot like Tennessee schedule. South Carolina, UAB at Auburn, Kentucky at Vanderbilt versus Florida and Jacksonville, Missouri, Ole Miss at Tennessee, at Georgia Tech. The best team they play is Tennessee.
I hope.
They do
And
play
that's-
Ole Miss at home, but the hardest game that they have would be in Neyland Stadium. I mean, what a joke.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Also, I
Yeah,
love that
playoff
UT
committee.
Martin, Ball State, South Carolina, and UAB, like those teams just all kind of are the same in my book. That's a shot at South Carolina and Shane Beamer. How long is he going to last?
Give us an over under, Landon.
I think it's for next year.
I mean, if they don't go 12-0, I think Kirby Smart should be fired.
Oh, I thought you asked about Shane Beamer. How long is he going to last? Sorry.
Oh, how long is he going to last?
Next year. I think he's fired midway through next year.
Yeah, he's garbage. I think South Carolina fans are already done with his shenanigans.
Well, yeah, you can't.
In his press conferences. I mean, that one today was just ungodly. Yeah, is Tom Brady dying?
He looks like he's running around in Vestal.
He looks sick.
Brody's not had plastic surgery. That's just plastic surgery, right? But Brody makes that face.
Yeah, he does make that face. Also made fun of Brody today. He sent me a Snapchat and he was I was like, "What are you wearing?" And he was like, "A sweater." I'm like, "Dude, you live in California and it's like 85 degrees there." He's like, "Yeah, I wanted something comfortable in the airport." He wore like a plain white sweater. Not a sweatshirt, a sweater.
Yeah,
Did it have a nice ascot tucked in, like
it was like a
Fred from
fisherman's
Scooby Doo?
He should have. It was like a fisherman's sweater.
Yeah, it was ugly. Just a plain sweater, like just a knitted, ugly sweater.
Terrible.
Yep. That's all I got for stupidity.
Wait, did you not share that he shit his pants?
Oh, he did shit his pants. That's right.
He texted me and I was like,
in a
"You're
sweater."
lying. There's no way. And sure enough, he did.
I found out a story today. I'm going to tell this
Shit
because
happens.
people are not going to watch the show. So, some of our friends,
More
they
British after dark.
invited this lady that lives in her neighborhood over, and they like had a drink. Well, she gets up and like leaves and goes home. She had pissed on their couch. She like left a spot.
You sure she just wasn't aroused?
Perfectly circular?
That's what I asked, but no.
Was it? Okay.
No, it wasn't. It was.
I'm just trying to ward off everyone that thinks I peed in Mandy's floor. And
My first question was like, did you rub her nose in it?
Are we sure it was a true pee or was she aroused? You know.
I think that's a good question. Dylan.
I also asked that question. It was not an arousal, and apparently this person did apologize after the fact.
I feel like you're telling this story and you shouldn't be, but it's still funny.
Oh, 100%. I should not be telling this story. The only reason why I'm telling it is because it was told to me right before I got on the show. So,
Don't trust Landon with your secrets, guys.
yeah, I got to tell somebody. So that's on.
I
me
held
for
a
telling
secret
me.
for like 6 months. I held it for so long I forgot about it.
Oh my god,
Yeah, that's pretty impressive, isn't it?
that's awesome.
That's a good secret keeper right there.
All right, well, guys, it's Florida. That's all that matters. Tomorrow, don't work. There's no reason in it. The work's going to be done on Saturday.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
let's run the
Tailgate,
tape out.
6 a.m.
I love it. Guys, come to the tailgate. We'll be there. We'll be there early. Caleb's playing Rocky Top, eating some M&Ms or Reese Pieces, something like that.
Pretty much both. Peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh, that's they just made a baby. Guys, thanks for listening. 400th episode. I don't know if
Part
that's
one.
really true, but we think it is. It's close.
We can.
Part 1. If we win, we do part 2 on Sunday.
If we lose, we burn it.
Yeah, if we lose, we just don't do an episode on Sunday. That's all we got. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.